And welcome to KGW News at 5 o'clock on this Thursday. The hospital in Idaho that was the first in the state to start rationing health care says things have only gotten worse. Last month, Kootenai Health enacted emergency standards of care due to all the COVID cases it was dealing with there. That basically meant care priority went to patients most likely to survive. Well, the case numbers have gone up even more since then. And yesterday, the hospital reported a record 150 coronavirus inpatients, with 43 requiring critical care and 17 on ventilators. Just last week, its record was 115 patients. Now, as we said, 150. That hospital is in northern Idaho, which has some of the lowest vaccination rates in the state.
Pfizer is asking the FDA to authorize its COVID vaccine for children. If approved, shots could begin in the next few weeks. The vaccine would be available for children 5 to 11 years old. Pfizer officially submitted its request for authorization just this morning. Now, the FDA will decide if there is enough evidence to prove the shots are safe. An independent panel of experts will meet on October 26th. If the FDA approves it, the CDC will make the final decision to recommend it for children.
As the Delta variant infects more and more people across the country, some are wondering, is this bringing us any closer to herd immunity? Health experts say not really, because infection is only one part of the equation. The other, and perhaps more important aspect, is vaccination. Right now, kids under 12 can't get the vaccine yet, and experts say we need 85% of the total population to be immune or vaccinated. The number's only at 56% in the U.S., and vaccine hesitancy remains high. They also warn inadequate vaccination leaves the door open for even more dangerous variants to emerge.
If you allow this virus to circulate and you have people who are vaccinated or not fully vaccinated, this mutation could be more dangerous because it's getting used to the vaccine, or it be developed among people who have been vaccinated. So it's very important for all of us to do our part to contain the spread of the virus in order to prevent another mutation.
Another concern is we don't know how long antibodies last after a COVID infection.
The Red Cross says it still needs blood donations, and they'll accept your donations whether you're vaccinated or not. But you do have to be healthy. Red Cross does require its blood donors and staff to wear masks regardless of vaccination status. It's also working with the OHA to see if the state vaccination mandate applies to people who collect blood donations. The Red Cross is strongly encouraging vaccination. Now, we must talk about this nursing shortage in the U.S. The Oregon nurses are calling it historic and catastrophic. As
Christine Pitawanich reports, they now want hospitals and the state to step in to fix the situation.
Oregon's healthcare system has been broken for a long time. Our pleas for changes to make the system patient-centered have been ignored by hospital executives for decades.
Matt Calzia is a registered nurse and a practice consultant with the Oregon Nurses Association, or ONA. He and his colleagues say long-standing staffing issues are exacerbated by the pandemic.
The despair on the nurses' faces and the fatigue, it's more profound than I've ever seen that.
And the burnout is real.
85% of the nurses at OHSU have indicated that they are unable to use vacation time or take a mental health day because there are not enough nurses.
Perhaps the most concerning stat, Calzia says, 60% of OHSU's nurses are considering leaving the profession entirely. And he says that percentage is reflected at the national and state levels, too.
Losing even a single nurse from the bedside will result in greater strain on.
While Linda Pond, ONA president, says more than 90% of ONA nurses are vaccinated. Recently, large healthcare systems like Kaiser Permanente and Legacy Health have put thousands of staff across the country on leave because they don't want the COVID-19 vaccine.
As we see some small number of nurses potentially leaving the profession due to their decision to decline vaccination, we are also concerned that burnout will lead to an even larger number of nurses leaving the bedside.
Natasha Schwartz, a registered nurse at OHSU, along with her colleagues at the ONA, say the bottom line is the staffing crisis needs fixing, especially as the pandemic stretches an already stretched system.
It's just compounding the work day after day after day, compounding the trauma. That's what the moral injury is that we speak of. That is what is driving nurses away from the profession that they chose and the profession that we love.
Nurses we spoke to say they want two key issues addressed. First, ways to retain nursing staff, as well as more support for nursing education and ways to attract new nurses to the profession. About that retention piece, they want hospitals to honor breaks for nurses who often may work 12-hour shifts with no break. Because at this point, if they do take one, they've got to find another nurse to care for their patients, which doubles that nurse's workload. We'll have more details about their call to action on our KGW website. Christine Pitawanich, KGW News.
A Portland Trail Blazers assistant coach was one of 18 former NBA players arrested today on healthcare fraud charges.
Milt Palacio is the assistant coach involved. You see him here behind the Blazers' new head coach, Chauncey Billups. The government says Palacio and others bilked the league's health and welfare benefit plan out of $2.5 million by filing false claims. Also among the suspects, 3 former Blazers players, Sebastian Telfair, Darius Miles, and Ruben Patterson.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. And it's unfortunate for the Trailblazers that they have a coach involved, but that's something the Trailblazers are going to have to deal with right now. You know.
The Blazers released a short statement today saying that they've placed Palacio on leave as the case plays out. Washington County Police shut down an illegal marijuana operation in North Plains. The value of the drugs removed is estimated to be over $6.5 million. These are some pictures from the raid yesterday. A 29-acre lot was converted to grow the marijuana. Police found over 800 pounds of dried marijuana and almost 6,000 marijuana plants. There was also an estimated $500,000 in grow equipment and $22,000 in cash.
The Bend City Council has voted to permanently ban the use and sale of fireworks, but not everyone's happy about that change. A temporary ban was made back in June in response to the historic heat wave over the summer. But those restrictions did not prohibit sales. Many nonprofits and churches use fireworks sales to raise money for charity projects. Mark Gehring is a lead pastor for Faith Christian Center. He says the decision was an overreaction.
There are many things in our society, like drinking alcohol or even driving a car, that they're legal, but people do irresponsible things. To just single this out because of the actions of maybe a few irresponsible people compared to the overall picture just seems a little harsh, maybe, or a little heavy-handed.
Although the decision bans fireworks in Bend, certain public displays, such as the annual show-off at Pilot Butte, can continue.